Can you see me? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hole in the Pen Cap, episode 10. Hey, double digits, right? That's a big number in the grand scheme. Probably no, but welcome to the Hole in the Pen Cap. I'm Reier Cammerman, your host. I host the show. I make sure everybody's all right. I set out blankets for you, right? I say, hey, this is the guest room. Feel free to use the dresser, but don't open the bottom drawer for the love of God. Don't open it, please. And also, the shower curtain is my grandmother's, so make sure you don't rip it. My grandmother is a shower curtain. People always say that this blanket is my father's, but nobody else says this blanket is my father. Why don't we do that? We're doing a cup today. Very rare, very rare. It's always in a bottle, or you typically bottle, sometimes can. I like to be able to close my beverages because I will spill them. But I'm being very careful. Today. It's just my energy drink that I put into a little cup of ice. It's very hot out today. I'm Reier Cammerman. Did I say my name? Am I wearing my name tag? What if I just had? It'd be a funny tattoo. I'm sure people have done that. A name tag tattoo. But maybe it said the wrong name or something. Like, maybe it was your name, but somebody spelled it wrong. That happened with me a lot with my name, Reier. Hi, I'm Reier. It's good to meet you again. Welcome back. I hope you're having a good day. It's very hot. I went to the skate park earlier today. Hey, boys, I've got next on the ramp. Wow. I don't have a skateboard. I just want to walk on it. Do you think if everybody was in line for the ramps and then I got in line but I didn't have a skateboard and I just started, you can use your turn however you want. Nobody says you have to, they say no bikes, but nobody says you have to skateboard. But I went to the skate park today because I was shooting another episode of Man-Made. It's my new web series. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I can never tell. I think so. I just need to keep building it out. It's a short videos where my friends teach me how to do manly things. This one was skateboarding, which arguably, I don't know if it doesn't have to necessarily be. I think skateboarding's kind of manly. I mean, you've got frustration, right? You've got, probably a lot of fall. Do men fall? I don't know. I don't know if it's a very loose concept. Very stretchy, very flexible concept. Flexible. Like a rubber band. I always, when I think of flexible, I think of a rubber band. But when I think of rubber band, I don't think of flexible. Because when I think of flexible, I guess maybe gymnastics. But a rubber band doing gymnastics would be perfect. Yeah, I wonder what a rubber band, maybe on the floor exercises, a rubber band is just kind of, because it's round, it can stretch out, but when it's not being stretched out, I imagine it's just kind of like a very skinny oval. Or maybe even just kind of a line if the bands stick together. So maybe it's very skinny and tall, very lanky. And just kind of doing, I bet a rubber band would be really good at like a back bridge, a back arch. What's the one where like a handspring? Handspring. Oh, I understand now. Yeah, I don't remember how we got into the rubber. Oh, I went to the skate park. Yeah, we were shooting an episode. It was really fun. It was my friend Kevin, and he showed me skateboarding. Yeah, it's fun. I did try to skateboard for a little while when I was younger. Wasn't very good at it. And I'm very, like, I think I've said that before in other episodes. I'm very obsessive when it comes to working out or really anything physical or competitive. I just won't let myself stop until I get it. And oftentimes I don't get it. So it becomes very frustrating until I'm physically exhausted and I have to stop. Have to stop. Is the hair too much? I regretted it. That was a weird time to take a drink. It's always funny because, you have to time out when you're doing stand-up or it's a podcast or whatnot, any audio format. You have to time out when you take a drink. But it's funny to really not time it out at all and to just kind of do it whenever you want is funny, I think. My hair, I think it looks, I don't know. Do you ever try? I feel like I maybe look kind of balder than I am, but I stopped wearing the hat this week. I went 2 weeks, or maybe a little bit under 2 weeks wearing the hat every day. And then I just started trying, my friend took me to a bar and it was like the gay night. Hey, I just imagine a moon kind of wearing a really tight spandexy type suit and waving a pride flag. It was the gay night. And yeah, it was fun. I wasn't going to go at all, but he was like, hey, let's just go walk around and, get your confidence up. And so I took off the hat for the first time in public and I just walked around and I felt pretty good. I mean, clearly I'm self-conscious about it. But you can't go, you've got to shave your head once, right? Right? Everybody? Life is so short or long or kind of, I guess both, life is short and long, but short and long. Kind of maybe like a book that's really vertically, a book that's really long, but it's only a few pages or something. That why not shave your head, right? I'm going to go my whole life without ever shaving my head? Yeah, you could have done that. That would have been fine if I had done that, I suppose. But yeah, no, I don't regret it. I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know. I did it kind of in an emotional, just wanting to do something different. I was also pretty drunk when I did it, which is great, That's that's a weird thing to do drunk for sure. Oh yeah, just cut off my hair. What? Yeah, it's just something I did. Yeah, it's been a fun week. The rat trap guy, it's the exterminator, that works for my landlord. He came over with, apparently he set out some rat traps outside, like poisonous rat traps. And I guess he came back the other day and I thought it was morning, but it was not. It was again, probably like 3 p.m. and he was knocking on the door and I was sleeping. My sleep schedule's been off. It's not, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just not sleeping too well right now. I need to probably, you would say, hey, Reier, maybe no energy drinks at 6 p.m. It's 4:35. Is that the same thing? It's not that far away, but but yeah, no, he woke me up, and I got up, and he was like, hey, it's a rat trap guy. No, he does have like an accent kind of though. But he's like, yeah, I bet. So yeah, I'm sure you've heard the news, which is a scary thing to hear from a stranger when you wake up. So I'm sure you've heard tell. Apparently, you know, when something is so significant that a stranger is assuming you've heard it is concerning. But he's like, yeah, I'm sure you've heard the news. Go, what? No, what happened? And he said, well, I put out, you guys weren't here the other day, and so I put out the rat traps outside, and apparently one of the dogs ate the rat that had poison in it. And I said, oh my God. What did it happen? He said, oh, the dog's fine, but I do have to this whole encounter was very strange because you ever have someone tell you about like an escalation, like, it's like, yeah, this thing happened, it was really bad, and you go, what? And you go, yeah, but everything's fine now. Here, I'm going to go. It was confused. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I guess the dog's fine, but I'm just here to pick up the trap. So I had that encounter. I don't know why I thought that was significant. It's significant enough to... Things don't have to be very much, they have to be significant for me to talk about them, I think. I think it's fun to kind of talk about the insignificant things, right? To go, oh, the carpet is gray and black and white, a little bit of white, but it's like a grayish white. The kind of white that, is maybe could be kind of dusty, like a dusty white. Dusty white sounds like maybe a slur for like old white people. You dusty white. I don't know why I said it in the... I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to just talk about the insignificant because then you get into larger things, into the significant things. But yeah, no, the rat trap guy came over. We're gonna renew the lease. Renew is a fun word. Renew. It sounds probably kind of like a type of energy more than anything. Renewable energy. With the windmills. We're not getting my roommate and I. We're gonna switch rooms. We've decided against it. We've put a pin into that apple. I'm gonna put it off for a little bit because we're about to get a new roommate anyways, and I think I'll end up staying in that room. Sorry, this isn't. The president almost got shot. Maybe that would have been a more relatable thing to bring up, as opposed to the rat trap guy. Maybe, yeah. Apparently, yeah. Trump almost got assassinated. Well, I guess he did get shot in the ear. I think people are talking about because apparently it wasn't very far away. And it's like 450 feet or something. So they're saying, it would have been, the fact that they missed is concerning. But if the fact that they missed is concerning, why were they able to get up there? You know what I mean? Why didn't they have people kind of scoping, like watching because to climb all the way up onto a roof maybe isn't a lot, but it's interesting, to think that somebody is going to live. Well, I guess they were shot and they died. Also, the person that tried to shoot Trump. But the fact that if they hadn't died, they would have spent the rest of their life in prison and, for shooting someone in the ear. Because, obviously that's correct, but it's just sad to think, because I guess if you're going to you want to assassinate someone and you hit them in the ear, that's got to be disappointing. To that part, I was just, if you put yourself in their shoes, that's going to be like a rough day. I don't know. I don't really have political affiliations. I don't think affiliations. Affleck affiliations. Yeah, I don't think I'm really. Maybe one day. I don't know. I guess voting's coming up. I'm not registered. I'm not working at that register, right? Yeah, I don't know. I want to be. I will get registered at some point, I think, but I'm just not well versed and I don't know enough yet. And you'd say, well, make yourself know enough. I don't think it's going to happen. I think I would try and read a little bit and then I still wouldn't understand. And then I would just vote out of the feeling of, being like pressured into it, I suppose, would be the reason I would vote. So I shouldn't do it. At least not yet. I mean, maybe I will someday, I think. I've been watching a lot of like YouTube shorts recently. I don't know if I mean to as much as it's just kind of there. And then I get sucked in is a weird way to say it, but vacuumed up, I suppose. I get vacuumed up into the YouTube shorts. But it's fun because when you watch YouTube shorts, you find out about all these very niche groups. These like these groups of people that dedicate their lives to something that you didn't even know existed, which I respect. Like I said, I've said before, I unicycled forever. I still unicycle. Love it. It's very niche. But then when you go into that world, you realize how deep it is, and there's like all these little nuances and whatever. But one of the little groups I've been kind of watching shorts about it's like PT, like physical therapy. There's this one YouTube channel I really like. It's called All Kids Are Perfect, and it's like this female physical therapist who is like really, I mean, she's really talented in all these different techniques she uses to help like, babies to young kids start utilizing, sitting up and walking and crawling and when I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know why I'm watching that. I mean, I do love, I don't know. I think it's really interesting from, working in special ed and stuff. It's to see how she gets kids to kind of use their motor skills. But I wonder, it's maybe odd that I watched that. I was thinking about all the different YouTube shorts. Do you watch any YouTube shorts that you're like, it doesn't involve me? Like there's this one guy, I think the channel's called like Chihuahua Love or something. And it's this really big, I think Italian man. He's foreign. He's foreign. Sorry, it sounded mean. It sounded upset. He's foreign. He's foreign. Stop it. What? Stop it. It's funny to, when you get mad, to kind of do like a head roll and then meet back, kind of like you're doing a question mark. Stop it. Like you're doing, or even to go the other way, or to do fish. Stop it. Stop it right now. But yeah, I think he's maybe Italian. And the whole channel is just this large man, just holding and cuddling with a Chihuahua. And he's like, the first one I saw that popped up and I was intrigued, was a Chihuahua in a bathtub or in like a little sink or something. And, the Chihuahua was like really having a great time, like closing its eyes and like wagging its tail, Well, and that's something you see every day, right? When to see a Chihuahua, kind of essentially becoming like an Olympic swimmer. I mean, it wasn't really swimming, but just having a great time in there. I was like, well, what's causing that? I guess that's what brings you in. That's the eye catcher. Hey, Chihuahua, Chihuahua plus bathtub equals intrigue. So I clicked on it, and this Chihuahua was just having a great time, and there was this guy that was just like pouring water on the Chihuahua and just like petting the Chihuahua. And then and the caption read, this Chihuahua, it was like something to the effect of, Chihuahua loves bath time. You know, like just a normal, it makes sense. It's like, yeah, I suppose it seems like that. And then in the comments, it's crazy. I really should be being more productive. This is how I calm down at night. I just watch a man bathe the Chihuahua. There's so many strange YouTube shorts. But yeah, this man was petting the Chihuahua. In the comments, it was like, it's just the nicest things I've ever seen. It was like, God, you're a real man, and you show love to this Chihuahua, and you're gonna save the world. It was really cool. And then I clicked on some more of the videos, and it was just this man, like, it's almost like too much. It's like him, like really, like kissing, which is what I love kissing dog. I mean, I think that's fine, but it was a lot of kissing, like almost constant kissing of this Chihuahua. He was a sweet guy. I don't know. And now those videos have been getting recommended, the Chihuahua guy. And I like, they're entertaining. But there's so many different YouTube shorts now. I feel like YouTube shorts weren't a thing until recently. It used to be just videos, long or short videos, but they were all just videos. And now I think our attention spans, I suppose, are getting shorter. The elastic is getting, what's the word, tight from overuse. I guess it wouldn't get tight, but we just can take in less now, I think, or we want to take in less. But yeah, everything seems to be shorts now. And then if you really like it, you go and you watch the longer video. There's another channel I really like. It's called, I think it's pronounced like Schauman NYC. I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, but it's this guy who is a polyglot. Which is a crazy term, by the way. It means you can speak multiple languages, and he knows so. I mean, I don't even know how many. Like, it's got to be at least 30 or 40. Maybe that's not accurate, but it's so many. And the whole thing is he'll like learn a language and then go to the place where the people speak that language and pretend that he's just like a white guy that only knows English. And then he'll, maybe he like overhears them talking about him or something, or he just orders something in that language. And then they're like, what? You speak, Shawandi, or what? So that's, I don't know, some language. Oh, you speak this language that's only native to, a 1,000 person population in Indonesia. It's crazy. He chooses like these really, it's really cool. It is. And then he'd be like, what? You're surprised that I can't, I don't know. He's not really cocky about it, but it would be funny to be cocky about that. Just because I'm a white man doesn't mean I can't speak sub-Saharan Chinese or something, Yeah, it's a funny concept, to go to kind of plant yourself into a situation where you would, where you're not really, you wouldn't be expected to be, right? Or just to, people obviously assume a certain thing, and to play into that and then to go, but wait, I actually can pogo stick. Well, why did you pretend you couldn't? Pogo stick. That was one of the fun, one of my favorite episodes was when, I think he was just in China or something. I think he was in, China, and he he was on the street there's like markets in the street, and he was talking to this woman who was selling something, and he was speaking in English, and she was like trying to talk in English back, but she clearly didn't know a lot. And then he started talking in Mandarin, and the woman went, "Hey, why are you wasting my time?" It was something to that effect of like, yeah, obviously I think he said, "Do you speak Mandarin?" in Mandarin. And she said, "Yeah, everybody here speaks Mandarin." Like have you not been hearing everybody talk? That's what we're all speaking. Like, why did you just do that? You should have just spoken in I wouldn't have thought it was weird. Just because you're a white guy, you could speak Mandarin. It was just really funny. Because, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's like kind of mean almost to. You don't have to pretend you don't. If you speak the language, you should just speak. It was fun. It was funny. It's a loud car. Is this episode going well? I feel like I like to ask. I like to, get input kind of mid-episode, even though you're not here to answer. But I think I kind of, imagine what you'll say in your mind. You'll be like, "Oh no, I clicked off like 20 minutes ago." I'll be like, "Well, how are you even hearing this then?" I don't know. Good point. Yeah, I think it's going okay. I think it's going well. I think it's fun to just kind of keep talking and going down rabbit holes and things like that. Rabbit holes. Do you rabbits are pretty large, aren't they? I feel like a rabbit. How large would the hole have to be for a rabbit to descend? Yeah, I remember being a kid and there would be those videos of or like cartoons, and an animal would go down a hole, and then there'd be like a little house, or like a bigger hole, but there'd be like a bed. I don't remember exactly where I saw them, but it was some cartoon, and they went down a rabbit hole, but then there was like a little house. Is that in Fantastic Mr. Fox? That might be. It's a Wes Anderson movie. I love Wes Anderson. I love the way he shoots, movies and films, and kind of the same thing. But I love how he shoots. I mean, because it's just so different and unexpected and wonky, and it's like almost like a mushroom trip a little bit. What's going on? But yeah, no, I like going down rabbit holes. I was thinking, now since we're talking about language, I know I've talked about this before. I took sign language in high school, because I was not good at any of the spoken languages, and it was required. So I had to give that a go, and I loved it. It was really fun. But I remember we used to have these, like, when I took sign language, we used to have these deaf meetups at the mall, and it wasn't like you didn't have to go, but my sign language teacher would put up like flyers for it and stuff, and it's like some of us would go, and they had once a month there was like a deaf meetup in the food court of our local mall. And we would just kind of, it'd be like a lot of, maybe not a lot, maybe like 10 to 15 deaf people. And then like, maybe like 10 to 15 like high school kids and a couple other people, just kind of watching them talk and like trying to talk to them. And I was thinking about that because it's got to be weird, to speak a language, but to only really, they probably most of the time, unless they live with someone that's deaf, or probably don't get to utilize sign language a lot, especially if they're like partially hearing. I don't know a lot about the culture, but I was thinking about that. And then when you do get to do it, it's like once a month in a food court, and there's like a bunch of 16-year-olds watching you. it's gonna be really like trying to understand what you're saying. And you're just trying to have like a normal conversation, and there's just like a sophomore in high school that's going, you're. I don't know if I remember that much. I don't like your mom. Oh, he doesn't like their mom. It's like something like a personal. It's like, I'm just hanging out with my friends, as you're deaf, so you do sign language. So I'm just hanging out with my friends, and we're all doing sign language, and there's just a child watching me. It's gonna be weird. I took Spanish in middle school, but I was really, really bad at Spanish. There's so much to it, conjugation and all that. I tried to learn again when I worked at McDonald's when I was like a teenager. And I just wasn't, I did Duolingo. I don't know if anybody here has done Duolingo, but it's a really fun language learning app where it like tracks your days and everything. And there's a bunch of levels. I got really into it, and I did like a few hundred, I think maybe at least 150, maybe 200 days in a row of like you go on the app and you do you do at least one lesson, and it's pretty fast. It's like 5 minutes or something. But yeah, I got really into it trying to learn Spanish so I could talk to my coworkers at McDonald's, who I don't think they really even knew how hard I was trying. But I just really wanted them to like me, and I wanted to understand what they were saying because I was lonely. And I would just be kind of at the window, like stacking lids or something, and just hearing everybody like laughing and then singing songs in Spanish. Be like, God, that would be fun. And it never crossed my mind, hey, I guess I could maybe get another job too, like as opposed to learning Spanish for these for people that really didn't like me. I don't think that they really. I think in hindsight they probably just thought I was very strange, which makes sense. It's just stacking cups obsessively, and sometimes I would go in the back room of McDonald's and just reorganize the sauces, which was not necessary because, you just put your hand and you grab the sauce. The customers never saw the sauce like stacked up. It was just for me. And then people, my manager or whoever would come in and be like, hey, Reier, what are you doing? Oh, just fixing the sauces. What? There's 14 people in line at the front counter. What are you doing? Oh, just talking to the lids, just making sure they're all right. What? Talking to the lids, making sure they're all right. Yeah, that's the thing. With jobs, I think I do a lot of unnecessary things. Maybe it honestly might be a lazy thing of like, if I'm mopping for 4 hours, you can't ask me to do anything intricate because I have gotten in trouble for mopping for too long before, because it's a very fun, it's not a very fun thing, but it's at least you feel productive until you realize, hey, I really didn't need to do this, and it's probably upsetting people that I'm just continuing to mop, and because when you continue to mop, people have to move for you and everything too. So it's like, oh, you don't need to mop this again. And also it pretty much immediately gets dirty. So really what's going on? I worked a bunch this week. I've been, just trying to save up money, which it's been fun. Getting more. I think this haircut has helped me with being intimidating. Because sometimes I work security, which is crazy because I'm really not secure in anything. But the haircut helps now. I'm just, hey, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Yeah, it, and also just being social. It's good to be, maybe that's why I cut my hair is to kind of force that confidence onto myself. Because when you have a buzz cut, you kind of have to be confident in a way, to walk out, because I think it is a unique look, at least to be a woman with a buzz cut. I think to be a man too. But you've got to have the swagger about you, because your looks do say things, whether it's positive or negative. But I think a buzz cut can be both. Look at it. It feels good. It feels like styrofoam. God, I love the sound of styrofoam. The sound of styrofoam. I feel like that would be the name of like a memoir, like a really dark memoir. The sound of styrofoam. By who would that be written by? I suppose me? No, maybe like someone with a very dramatic name, like Louis Corvolt Anderson, the 17th. Yeah, I feel like whenever they do juniors, I feel like they never go past like the 5th. I don't know if I've ever met it. I've never like heard of like a 6th. I'm sure they're out there, but it's just be very far back. I don't know if we've been alive that long. I think we have. Oh, I still need to get a new pair of pants. I only have one pair of pants, so I've been washing them a lot, which is nice. That's kind of fun to just kind of have one pair of pants and to just wash them every day. Because then you kind of feel closer, that you're spending more time with them as opposed to having multiple pairs of pants. You're like really getting to know one pair. It really doesn't make sense, but I don't know. Sometimes I think about maybe wearing women's clothing. But I think about it not as much of wanting to do it as just kind of being curious what it would be like. I had that last night, kind of like probably, I guess intense is maybe the word, of just like really, really being curious. And I had this old pair of pants that I don't wear because it is like a bleach stain or something on it. And I cut off the legs and I just like cut it into a skirt because I was curious what I would look like. As, in like women's clothing. I don't know. It was weird. I can't see myself. I think if I ever were to wear women's clothing, it would be like this. I don't think it would be healthy because it would just be me wanting to see if I could get, I don't know, to see if I was attractive as a woman, or to try and get some, affection, or because dating women is hard. I mean, I know men talk about it a lot. It's very hard. I'm sure it'd be a lot easier to date men, even though I'm not like a conventionally attractive woman. There aren't conventions of me walking down the runway. Convention. There's not an oven that I go into. Convention. Convent. And come out glittery. But yeah, I'm not conventionally attractive, but I'm sure everybody's got their thing. So I'm sure there is a group of people that are into women with buzz cuts. But I don't know. Sometimes I don't even think, it's been so long that I've dressed in a masculine way and, had short hair and whatnot, that I don't even know if I really see myself as a woman. Even though I know if anybody ever asks like pronouns, yeah, I'm a woman. She's a woman. But I don't know if I see like the way that you tell others to reference you or the way you want others to perceive you is not necessarily the way that you perceive yourself all the time. Because it's just not, I don't know. I wouldn't ask, I don't think I'll ask people to call me he, because it's not really anyone else's business, I guess. In a positive, like, I don't want to make that their burden to bear, I suppose. But then the issue is I look like this, so they will want to know, they just don't know, and they don't want to. I don't know. I almost wish I could be gay without looking gay and just be able to hide it if I wanted to. Which I do. But I think there's also, I think it's also positive maybe that I can't hide it because I would. And so now I just have to be more of myself, which is good. I don't know. I want to be, I think sometimes I am not the best romantically, or like, 1 second. Look, it's like a little science. The ice melted. What if a waterfall was just like a can? It was going to bother me if that was in frame. I don't know why. But yeah, what if a waterfall was just a can of an energy drink kind of just spilling off the side of a table into a bowl, a square bowl that's plastic, but it's blue, so it kind of mimics what an ocean would look, what a lake would look like, or whatever waterfalls go into. But I've been thinking about love and wanting to, not necessarily love, but wanting to have a significant other, but then the issue also is I just don't initiate enough, I don't think, and I guess that's an issue I've been having is, there is someone I like, but I'm not good at coming up with activities and or really even showing affection all the time, I think, because I very one mind. What's the word? Like, I just focus on one thing and then everything else. It's hard for me to do multiple things at one time, because then it takes longer, I think, and so it's better to just do one thing full out and then go to the next thing. But sometimes things take so long that by the time you finish one thing, it's you don't even want to do the other thing, or it's too late to do the other thing, I suppose. And I think I should that's not something I should do with like relationship. Like, I shouldn't not be in a relationship just because I want to pursue comedy or or anything. It just, because then I'll be missing out on something. I'll be missing out on a part of life that I do want to experience. But I think I also struggle with romance and whatnot, because I want to be, I guess I like, I'm attracted to women, but I guess I don't want to be seen. Maybe that's the thing that's an issue I'm having, like an internal struggle. And the reason that I'm not initiating anything is because I don't want to be seen out in public as gay, which is insane because I look like this. But for whatever reason, to me, the looking like it versus the action of like being on a date with a woman are two different things. And I am gay. So it doesn't make sense. But maybe it's like that in my mind, that solidifies it. Like being like I guess I don't want people to be mean either. I guess that maybe is the fear of like, or I don't want people to be mean to the person I'm with. Even if it's just looks or like, Because that does happen, you get people and you know what you'd say. Yeah, you never know what someone's thinking. Sometimes though, there's like that idea of, yeah, but you're like looks say so much. But I shouldn't care. That's what everybody says. Yeah, you shouldn't care. Just live your life. But it can be so hard sometimes because especially as a comedian, or maybe it's just everybody feels this way. You want to be liked, and you especially don't want to be disliked for something that you feel you can't control. And I think that's a struggle I have with sexuality too. Is I would love if it were a choice, because I would not have chosen it. You know what I mean? I would not have chosen to be gay. And that's at least the way I feel. I do not want to be. And that's not, I don't think that's homophobia or anything like that. That's just wanting to not wanting to be looked at. Maybe not wanting people to see me and immediately have these preconceptions of the things I believe, and immediately have negative emotions towards me, because I want people, I want to make people happy and I want people to like me. But it sucks though, because I think I would love to fit the gender norms and whatnot, which some people would say, yeah, just do it. But it's not that I think I have tried to wear women's clothing and whatnot, but then I just get really sad and I don't feel like myself, and I feel like I'm pretending to be somebody, which is the worst feeling. So it's not that, it's not that simple to just do it. Nike could get a sponsorship on, I guess opposite. What's anti-trans sponsorship? Nike? I don't know. Transgenderism. Not a fun word. That word doesn't really do any favors. Transgender. Lesbian also. Lesbian is a very aggressive word. Lesbian. Whereas gay is a fun word. Okay, it's short, and it also, short could also mean that it's hard. You're gay. But then lesbian is it's almost like a disease of some sort. It sounds like, it's the intricacies of the lesbian. Sorry, you're a lesbian. It's like a doctor at you tested positive for lesbian. Like, for lesbianism, I don't know, but I think it'll, I'll figure it all out over time. It is just, I think if I am struggling with anything the most, it's that. Yeah, it's like the understanding and acceptance of who you are without being, because when I talk about it, I think sometimes it can come off as hateful to groups, like to transgender people or to gay people, but it's definitely not. It's just me struggling with identity and I guess wishing it were easier, because it is not easy to have feelings that people can't see and don't understand. Sometimes to some people it's like, oh, that you're making this up. And I guess it's similar to religion in that way. It's like, oh, you're making up. And I'm not saying religion is made up, but it's certainly something you can't see, similar to sexuality, which is crazy that, super religious people and gay people clash so much, because they have so many similarities, right? It's like something you can't see. It's something you feel inside, and that a lot of people disagree with and don't believe in. And I think it'll all be all right. It's just the journey of figuring out how to be okay with other people you know, you can really be anything as long as you're okay with other people hating you for it. And ideally, you're not one of those people that hate you for it. I suppose that's the message. Thank you so much for thank you so much for stopping by The Hole in the Pen Cap, episode 10. Such a fun time. I'll see you around the block. See you next time. I'm Reier Cammerman. Thank you. Bye.